Hey, welcome to The Explainer. We're just swimming in data these days, but what does any of it actually mean? Today, we're going to go on a journey from just raw numbers all the way to powerful decisions. We're breaking down the huge differences between data, information, knowledge, and insight. Trust me, getting this right is a total game changer.
This question, this is the whole point, isn't it? When you look at all your data, are you just seeing a jumble of numbers and facts, or do you actually see a clear path forward? Let's figure out how to build that roadmap together.
Okay, so let's just dive right in at the very bottom, with the most basic building block of this entire conversation, data itself.
I love this analogy. Think of data as a pile of Lego bricks just dumped on the floor. Sure, they have potential, but right now, they're just individual pieces. They're raw, they're unprocessed, and they're just waiting for someone to give them some meaning.
Okay, for example, look at this number, 120. What is it? Right now, it means absolutely nothing. It's just pure data. It could be a temperature, a price, maybe the number of emails in my inbox. Who knows? It's a fact without a story.
Right, so to make this number mean anything, we have to start with the most fundamental question you can ask. What even is it? What is there?
Now this is where things start to get interesting. We take that meaningless raw data and we start to give it some shape. And that brings us to the next step up, information.
So what is information? Well, it's what happens when you take all that raw data and you start to process it. You organize it, you give it structure, you put it in context. Basically, you give it a purpose.
And boom! Just like that, our lonely number 120 has a home. It has meaning. It's not just a random number anymore. It's a specific piece of information. We know what happened.
Okay, so now we know what happened. We sold 120 units in March. That's a huge step forward. But, that just opens up an even bigger question, doesn't it? The real question is, why? Why did that happen?
And to get to that why, we've got to climb another rung on this ladder. We're moving from just having information to having real, actual knowledge.
See, knowledge is all about connecting the dots. It's that leap from knowing what happened to truly understanding why it happened. It's where you combine the information with your own experience and analysis.
And there it is. We've got a cause and an effect. The sales went up because of that new ad campaign. Now, that's not just a fact anymore. That's an explanation. We've connected an action to an outcome.
Answering why, that's huge. That gives us power over the past, right? We understand it. But what about the future? What if we could take that understanding and actually use it to change what happens next?
And that brings us to the very top, the peak of the pyramid. This is where we stop looking back and start looking forward. This is all about insight.
Insight is that incredible moment when understanding turns into action. It's not just knowing something, it's knowing what to do with what you know. It's about creating a strategy for the future.
And here's what that looks like in practice. It's a clear, actionable recommendation. Hey, to get more sales, we should put more money into this kind of ad campaign. We've officially gone from a single number to a business strategy.
And that's the whole point, isn't it? The entire journey from that single number 120 has been leading to this one final, all-important question. Okay, so now what do we do? Okay, let's just take a second and look back at the entire journey we just took. It's a really clear roadmap from a pretty useless number to a super valuable decision.
You can see here how each step builds on the last. You really can't skip a step. You start with those raw bits and pieces, that data, and you transform it step by step into a real strategic decision that can make a huge impact.
So this table kind of pulls it all together nicely, right? You start with raw data, just asking what's there. That becomes information when you can answer what happened. Then that turns into knowledge when you figure out why did it happen. And finally, you get to insight, which answers the big one. What should we do about it?
Now, you've got to be careful because it's super easy to get stuck along the way. People fall into these traps all the time. They'll mistake a fancy dashboard for real insight, or they'll assume a report automatically gives them knowledge. And that's where organizations stop getting real value from their data.
At the end of the day, here's what it all boils down to. Anybody can collect data. That's the easy part. The real magic, the real value, is in the transformation. It's about turning all that stuff into smart decisions. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Take a look around. At your job, at your projects. Are you just a data collector, or are you actually on the path to building real insights that can change things? The power to do that, well, that's up to you.